A warm welcome to one and all. Today, let's discuss about the requirement and salient features of Solid Waste Management Rules 2016. Myself, Dr. V. Godwin Sharmila, Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. First, let's see what is Solid Waste Management Rule 2016. So, we know the waste management is an important part and the crucial part to be carried out in this modern civilization. So, the increment in the population as well as in the urbanization leads to the excess generation of the waste. This huge waste which was generated was not properly treated it now in an efficient way, hence which may leads to the harmful effect in the environment as well as for the human health. So, there are numerous waste management techniques as well as numerous equipment and processing equipment system has been formulated to treat this waste in a proper and an efficient way. But even though this lot of waste management technologies has been implemented, the generation of the waste was not reduced and the proper management was of the waste was not up to our level. So, it was observed that about 62 million tons of waste is generated annually in each country, in which 5.6 million accounts to be plastic waste, 0.17 million is million amount of biomedical waste has been generated. The hazardous waste generation is about 7.9 million ton. Of this, 15 lakh ton are e-waste. So, each person was generating nearly 200 grams to 600 grams of waste per day in Indian cities. So, as per the information from the Central Pollution Control Board of India, the municipal authority have set up 553 compost and vermicompost plant to treat the organic waste efficiently into a renewable energy source, and also 56 biomethanization plant has been set up to yield bioenergy from the organic waste, and also 22 RDF plants and 13 waste to energy plan has been set up in our country. So these are all the waste management techniques which has been implemented by our government in our states. Then let's see what are the requirements. We know that basic requirement of municipal solid waste is to have a proper regulation and the rules to manage the waste in an efficient way. So nearly 70 to 80% of municipal waste has been collected from each year from each resources source of generation. Of this, 22 to 28% is only processed and treated. Remaining waste has been dumped as such, or else it has been taken to the disposal site and it was disposed by means of the landfill disposal process. It was found that nearly 165 million tons of waste has been generation from the cities as well as from the villages. These waste, most of the waste has been dumped in an open dumping or as open dumping in most of the country without any treatment. So there is a need of 1240 hectares of land per year to store this waste in a proper manner. So as per the report of the Task Force of Planning Commission, nearly 439 million volt of power can be generated by utilizing those waste which was dumped as such without any proper treatment. So the government has been taking various initiatives to treat this waste in a proper way to yield most of the biogases, electricity and the compost which can be utilized for the agricultural purpose are being formulated and it was being under process. Now let's see the salient features of solid waste management rule. So the urbanization and the increment in the industrial sector leads to the excess generation of this waste. We know that, but the most of the urbanization and industrialization which was happened in our country was due to the construction of the Indian railways, airport, ports, harbour, defence establishment. These are all some of the reason for due to which the most of the areas has been formulated and transformed into the in advanced form of setup. So the source of generation from this type of sector is unavoidable, because the waste which was generated from this sector is huge and more, since this is the very important sectors which are available in our country. So in order to treat those waste in an efficient manner, we are considering this waste as an wealth. Hence, it can be recovered, reused, and recycled for generating various power. So, there is a responsibility of our citizenship and our country and our people and our government to segregate all these waste into three mainstream. That is, first is wet, next dry, and domestic hazardous waste. The wet means nothing, it's a biodegradable waste. Dry waste are the plastic, paper, metal, woods, etc. The domestic hazardous waste are the diaper, napkin, empty container. These are the waste which are being used for our maintenance of our self hygienic purposes, and also the proper segregation of this waste is done by the authorized hand rack pickers or the waste collector from the local bodies, which was monitored by the local government. Next is these hand pickers or the waste pickers, rack pickers, used to collect those waste from each and every sector, which was done by usually by the state government or other group which was formed by the locality. And there is no permission has been allowed to throw the waste or the ban or bury the waste by themselves without having any proper permission from the authorized government. So even though there was the public or interfering in the management of the waste, because the public can have the health issue during the improper management of the waste. So here, in order to avoid those issues only, the rack pickers and the waste collectors are dealing. The government are taking initiative to collect those waste through them and treat the waste in an efficient manner. So the generator, that is the people who are generating waste, has to pay some fees to the waste collector. If not, they are not properly segregating those waste, means they can charge the spot fine too. So, in case of sanitary waste such as diapers, sanitary pads, this must be wrapped in a proper way using a proper paper provided by the manufacturer or the brand owner, and they have to dispose this waste in a properly in a bin meant for dry waste as well as for the non biodegradable waste. So, for this concept of waste management, our government has initiated the Swachh Bharat partnership work in our country. So, the bulk or the institutional waste which was generated, or the market waste from the marketplaces and from the organization like hotel restaurant, has been a direct has must as a has been a direct generator of the huge amount of wastes. It must be segregated by them in the proper way within their institution itself, and has to managed by the proper government in a proper locality. So all the hotel and the restaurant waste should be segregated based on the biodegradable and the non-biodegradable condition through the proper collection system and the collection setup. Each waste has been utilized for the composting as well as biomethanization process. So in this scenario, all the residential welfare and market association and the gate communities and the institution has been provided proper area in terms of few hectares to segregate those waste and to convert those waste in a proper way, and pre-process those waste in properly. That is, for valuable dry waste can be recycled for various purposes. And also the hand picker has to separate those dry waste, and they have to given to the authorized authority, and to prevent the pollution by means of recycling those waste in a valuable method. Next is, while considering the biodegradable waste, they should have to pre-process those waste and treat those waste, and then they have to gone for the disposal purpose. Usually the pre-processing and the treatment is done through composting and biomethanization. During this process, most of the waste has been converted into the compost, which will be utilized for the for agriculture purpose, and also during the biomethanization process the waste has been converted in the form of biogas as well as the digest. The biogas can be utilized for the electricity generation, cooking purpose, etc., and the digest which is left behind can be taken for the final disposal site. So this residual waste which was obtained in the form of digest as well as the unwanted residues left out during the process of composting are all collected by the waste collector directly or through by the agency, and then they have been given to the local authority and proper management practices can be carried out by them. So the biodegradable waste should have to be handled in a very perfect manner in order to avoid the generation of bad odor as well as the harmful health condition due to the pathogenic content present in it. So new township as well as the housing society has made a responsible to develop a proper in-house handling of those waste as well as the proper management of the waste, management of the biodegradable waste with the proper arrangements. Next, we know every street vendors contains the various container. So the container in the sense the dustbin which was kept in each places or the each locality or in each streets or in the surveys. So they use the waste generator has to collect the waste from their household work, and they have to uh, dispose them in a storage container which was kept nearby them. So usually the waste which was thrown by them are the disposable plates, cups, cans, wrapper, coconut shell, leftover food, vegetables, fruits, etc. So these are all the waste which has to be thrown out without any usage without having any utility. So these waste has to be properly segregated, and they have to be dispose them into the proper container so that the collection members or the collection crew carry those waste in a vehicle by a notified time through the initiation of the local authority. So the developer of the special economic zones usually have allotted about an area in which the area has been converted into minimum of 5 plots in which the recovery and the recycling facility has been carried out. So all the manufacturer who are manufacturing those disposable products such as tin, glasses, packing material, they have to introduce their proper financial assistance to manage those waste in an efficient way to the local authority in an efficient by the authorized organization. Next, all such brand owners who are selling their product has some packing materials, so which are not which is highly inorganic and it cannot be degradable. So this pack must be collected by them. Uh, since they are the producer, they have to make an arrangement to collect those brand product, and the manufacturer or the companies who are generating the sanitary napkin and the diaper should monitor the possibility of the recycling those products, and they have designated a proper measure to throw out those waste in a proper way by in the form of providing a pouch or a wrapper to throw this sanitary product in a to the disposal site. So all the manufacturer and the brand owners or the market company must be aware of this education regarding the waste management and regarding the wrapping and the disposal of their product, and must be followed as per their strategies. Next, in case of industrial unit which was using the fuel that was highly located with a minimum distance of 100 km from the solid waste management plant. So for the minimum duration of the 6 months, that the date of notification has been provided by them to replace all those fuel requirement by the RDF they are producing, and also the non-recyclable weight whose calorific value 1500 kilocalorie kilogram or shall not be disposed on the landfill. So they have been utilized for recycling purpose to generate energy through the refuse derived fuel process, and which can be utilized, the source of non recycled waste can be utilized as the feedstock for preparing those refuse derived fuels. The high calorific value waste shall be used for co-processing with the cement as well as in the thermal power plant too. Then while considering the construction and the demolition waste, it must be stored and separated in a proper manner as per the construction and demolition waste management rule 2016. Hence it can be recycled or reused properly. And also in case of horticulture waste and garden waste which was generated from each sector should be disposed in a proper manner as per the direction of the authority. When during the any event or gathering organizers, usually the people used to arrive for about more than 100 persons. So at any licensed or unlicensed places they used to gather to organize a ceremony. So they must be ensure that they have placed a proper method placed a proper method of disposing or segregating the waste at the source itself, so that the process of handling those segregated waste by the waste collector or agency will be easy, and it was managed as per their local authority governance. Next, in order to treat the waste which was generated in the hilly areas, usually on construction of the landfill of the hill should be avoided in the hilly areas, because the condition and the temperature variation was highly varies when compared to the earthen embankment. So the transfer station should be located. The transfer station which was allocated for the collection of waste from the smaller vehicles or from the individual houses must be located in a proper places, so that enables the easy collection of the residual waste from each locality, and also it also enhances the separation and the recovery of the waste very easily. So suitable land must be identified in the plain as well as the hilly areas within 25 km from the sanitary landfill, so that the residual waste from the transfer station can be easily disposed to the site of landfill. So if the land was not available, so the effort must be taken by the regional sanitary purpose for the proper management of the inert and the residual waste. Thank you.